Hey and welcome to the Ruben Tuesday. My name is Ruben and this is my spoiler-filled review for Spider-Man No Way Home. It's the third part in the Tom Holland trilogy of Spider-Man films. So if you're here by mistake and you're frantically trying to click away because you're like, damn it, I don't want any spoilers, damn it, I'm giving you a few seconds now to go away. But from here on out, this is going to be me talking about my kind of favorite moments in the film, what I thought, the emotional impact to some of them that those moments that had in the film. So this is your warning. Let's jump in. With Spider-Man's identity now revealed, Peter asks Doctor Strange for help. When a spell goes wrong, dangerous foes from other worlds start to appear, forcing Peter to discover what it truly means to be Spider-Man. This is the first film in the trilogy where I felt Tom Holland really became Peter Parker. We see him acting with great poise and doing a lot of his own stunts for the Spider-Man role. And I wasn't a huge fan of the previous Spider-Man film. I know it's sacrilege for me to even say. I love the Sam Raimi trilogy. This one, however, I really felt like it was paying homage to the original, I'm going to say the original Spider-Mans, the Sam Raimi ones, the Andrew Garfield one, and it's hitting all those plot beats. So when we pick up with Tom Holland, he's feeling the effects of being in the Avengers. He's feeling the effects of losing Tony Stark and then having everything revealed about his identity and basically being betrayed because he's actually the hero and everyone from his city is basically saying he's not. There's a few people that are still like, yeah, no, he's the good guy. And so what we have then is him going to Doctor Strange for a spell that can fix it. As you've seen in the trailers, it goes wrong and we get that scene that we've seen on the bridge so many times with Doc Ock, who arrives and goes, hello, Peter. We obviously get the Green Goblin. Later we get Electro. We get Sandman. And all of those characters that we get to see, that the fights with them were incredible. But then to see the redemption arc with those characters as well took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting that. To see those storylines, the way they go about fixing the issues that they had, is the true Spider-Man story that you can have. And that comes off of what Uncle Ben would have said if there was an Uncle Ben, but Aunt May's going, you need to do what is right. And what is right is often the hardest thing to do, even going against Doctor Strange, where he fights Doctor Strange in the Mirrorverse and actually wins for a time against Doctor Strange, which it was an awesome fight. And can we just talk about how great the spider swinging is in this film? It's incredibly done. I think they've just gone from strength to strength. When we see Daredevil as the lawyer here, I think our cinema exploded. Everybody's really excited, but that had kind of already been spoiled, and I thought that was the loudest my cinema was going to be. But when we get introduced to both of the Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield coming in, and I wasn't ready for how emotional I felt with those. It's like, you've been on a journey with these characters, but seeing them together was a thing I knew I wanted, but I didn't know how much I wanted. And I was already readying myself for going, okay, they're not actually going to be in the film. It's just a thing that the internet really wants. It'd be really cool. Tom Holland has been adamant in all the interviews saying, no, they definitely not. I'd love that to happen one day. It's very cool. And then to see them, the crowd goes wild, and I mean literally goes wild. Very, very excited. But the emotional depth that these three have gone through, because this touches base on Andrew Garfield having lost, that Spider-Man having lost his MJ or Gwen, and that moment, his redemption arc where he manages to catch MJ from Tom Holland's MJ, I thought was just incredible. It was such a great moment. The emotional turmoil and also again happiness and redemption that we see on his face is brilliant. And the same could be said for Tobey, who, he's older. He seems to have become a little wiser. I feel like he's almost the dad of the three Spider-Men. Andrew Garfield's character, well, he's Peter Parker. I think he's Peter 3. They named him eventually. He talks about how dark he went, and there's so much history and a little bit of dialogue that is given. I thought it was just incredible to see how they allowed the film and pacing to slow down and give them some real humanity. What they have to deal with is often way bigger than them. The things that they have to choose between is often the hardest choices, and you see the toll that takes. So when you see them fighting together, I thought it was just incredible. Finally we get to see it. Even though we've seen a lot of what people have been guessing at, It was just a really fun ride, emotional journey. And then we see Tom Holland's Spider-Man sacrifice. The spell that is to stop the universes coming in, the multiverse from splintering, he has to give up on basically his whole life. Obviously very reminiscent of Uncle Ben dying, but I thought she did an excellent job. Like the way she didn't really quite know that she was dying, she got up and like, oh yeah, okay, I'm not quite good, and she falls down and still wanting to do the right thing even though she is dying. It feels like there are plot points, like characteristics and moments in Peter Parker's life that have to happen regardless of which Spider-Man that you are. And that is always heartbreaking because no matter what, there's going to be an Uncle Ben. But for Tom Holland, I feel like he's had that. You know, Tony Stark was kind of not his Uncle Ben, but his surrogate father in a way. And having him die felt quite poignant for him. So I always thought that maybe we were going to get away with that. But obviously not. And so now at the end of the film, we have Peter Parker as Peter Parker. It feels like he is Spider-Man now. He's gone through everything, that weight, those decisions he's made to become the real hero. He gets himself an apartment and he goes swinging, and it's Christmas time, and you're like, okay, now he's Spider-Man. That's the one that we kind of know and love. Not that he wasn't before, but all those things that happened to him basically create the Spider-Man that we know and love. It was an incredible journey, and obviously there are 2 end credit scenes. Let me know your kind of favorite moments. Who portrayed your favorite villain? Which one do you think was fleshed out the most? I would have to go with Doc Ock. For me, he was excellent. The easiest to like, but Goblin, obviously, incredible acting. And probably the scariest villain, like one of the real villains of the film. Let me know your thoughts below. Thanks so much for watching. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.